Good morning, peeps. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more Counter-Strike news. If you guys have already had one cup of coffee, double espresso plus chocolate milk, you are at the same level that I am at. But hope you guys all enjoy. No more wasting time because some big CS news has dropped, some of which we alluded to yesterday, some massive allegations in the scene. Before that, though, some roster rumors, which are going to shake things up, especially in the North American scene. And that's going to be all around complexity. According to HLTV sources, it will be the quartet, not the full complexity lineup, who is set to possibly be bought out by Passion UA. This coming the same time around where Passion UA have announced they have now benched or dropped their roster, with a couple guys moving to the bench, which kind of came out of nowhere. You think about a couple majors ago where they were to where it is now. This might have taken some people by surprise, and those surprise major runs might also be gone because of the major reformatting, of course, when we last saw Passion UA really making headlines. But their roster was now gone, but their coach, that being TC, would be staying, and that will go full circle, of course, with our new rumors that they actually want to buy out the Complexity Quartet to join this team instead. And yes, I did say quartet, not the full lineup, that being apparently JT, Halzerk, Nyx, Grim, and not Danny, not 60 to join this lineup. So I don't know what went wrong there. Of course, now the rumor also says that Kvem will actually be rounding out this roster as well. And so 60 will be the one guy to maybe maintain and build around in this complexity lineup. Now, we don't know too many details as to how much Passion UA was willing to spend for this quartet. Others might be asking why this quartet of all the cores you could buy out there. I guess it's probably one of the more affordable ones. I think the bigger questions fall on the complexity side of, why are you doing this? Is this roster just becoming too expensive to maintain despite losing some key pieces, despite losing someone like Elige? It just goes to show you how expensive it is and how difficult it is to be in the North American scene, or any scene in general in Counter-Strike, but especially if you are not performing at the top level, you can't bring in big sponsors, it is really difficult to get by. And I think this move really expresses that. Where my concern does lie is if you're complexity and you lose this big core. And again, you know, I would say a major run that was lackluster for all North American teams across the board. There's no question around that. I mean, the best North American team right now is what? NRG. They just took down Wildcard. Wildcard's literally imploding, and none of these teams did well at the major. But where do they fall if they lose this core? Do they just go full-blown up-and-comers and try and build and actually sustain themselves for a year or two and build up some names that we don't really know? I don't know where complexity goes from here. That part actually concerns me. But Passion UA, I saw some great recommendations out there. If you're going to build a North American core, I don't mind that. But can we, guys, people were recommending names like Passion NA or Passion USA. That's kind of fire. At least as an American fan. That might be terribly named, according to some of you people around the world. Let me know your thoughts, but Passion UA going for the complexity core, not what I expected to wake up to today. And what I didn't expect to wake up to a couple of days ago was accusations that are going to shake not just the Asian and Chinese CS scene, but might really rock the boots over at Lynn Vision, coming off a major run where not just Chinese CS, but Asian CS as a whole is in the best spot that it has ever been. You have teams like Tai Lu and teams like Lynn Vision who are making runs not just at the major, but doing well post-major and really making names for themselves with some big names. We already know, of course, Amelia in there and other members really making big names for themselves and continuing that story even post-major. It's been amazing to see. And then obviously you got G in there as well, but I said someone like Amelia because his teammate is now under fire with allegations. Let me preface by saying there's been no other public statements made. This is apparently allegations from an alleged former partner / girlfriend of his who has been spreading things online, then deleted, but copies were made. And so a couple of people were reporting on this one, but some major accusations going towards z4kr. And again, we have no update from Lynn Vision on this, but it's a lengthy list of allegations that a lot of people in the CS community have already responded to, even just a headline around this, as of course it is going viral. Including that apparently he is, and again, bear with me, this is a long list of allegations against z4kr, and we'll see how the team or he do respond to them, claiming by a former partner that he is a sex addict, also claiming that he apparently transmitted an STD to her via cheating on her with someone else. So went out and hooked up with someone else, contracted an STD, and then went back and apparently gave it to her. And there are other claims of proof around that. But again, because all of this information is on Chinese sites out there, the sourcing, you got to take it with a grain of salt until we do see bigger responses. But it was a lengthy list, even beyond that, going more into the sex addiction and saying how he even was paying people for silence, even among them being fans who he would hook up with, and then paying them for silence so he wouldn't interrupt his current relationships. Other allegations of blackmail, even allegations of having thousands upon thousands of albums and pictures because of his addiction to these kind of things. And the list went on and on. It was pretty wild to read. There was also some stuff in there about apparently him hooking up with a person that one of his teammates also had maybe a thing for. I don't know about an official relationship, but apparently that caused a bit of their rut back in February. Again, that might be a stringent allegation, especially according to the main stuff, which it seems pretty bad. There were some responses out there, of course, people making light of this situation, but it's definitely very serious, and we'll wait to see, because apparently in about 10 or 11 days, Lynn Vision is supposed to compete. People thinking we might see a replacement on this lineup, a lineup who, by the way, has really trudged through the trenches, and for this to come up and surface, which apparently might just be a resurfacing if this is such old information and people have known about this, allegedly. We'll see how this impacts the Lynn Vision roster in the future of z4kr, if he will respond to this. But yeah, lots of images surfacing online around this, and a lot of people from the Chinese space giving comments all over social media, kind of attesting to this and all of these claims. But we await to see more on z4kr and the future of his CS career. Could be up in arms. And very lastly, for all of you guys kind of backing up some more North American stories out there, loosely North American, but I got to mention this because Team Liquid's been in a bit of a fluster, right? We don't know what they're going to do in the future. We've had, of course, the NAF drama and some internal drama. There's also been the news we talked about recently about a potential rumored swap between Twist and Elige, which, again, I shut down. I don't think it's going to happen. And maybe even to reinforce why it shouldn't happen is Team Liquid versus Vitality, as Blast Bounty does continue. Now, Team Liquid, they do ultimately fall in this series, which should shock nobody, but it was the closeness of this series with both these maps back-to-back going to overtimes, which was like, okay, maybe this Team Liquid has found their way at least a little bit, because a couple weeks ago we were talking about how they lost to VP Prodigy, the academy team over there, and then they beat a team like Furia, who is arguably a top 10 team in the world and the best of Brazil, in an incredible comeback, by the way, some hefty clutches to end that series we talked about a couple days ago, and now they play Team Vitality extremely close, and it's really cool to see Ultimate really coming to form. Now, he has filled those shoes time and time again, but to do so on a more consistent level and to have his own clutches and really make a name for himself as a young opper, it's promising potential out of him.
Flashes in, that's bailed them out and got them away from Olaf. Nerds unable to punish. Mezzi holding on to the Ivy side. It's low health on both players in the site. The info's here for Vitality, so now ZywOo gets a move on. Will he be required as Ultimate tries to claw this back? Quick shot needed. ZywOo closing in. Second by second, this orb was moving in, and Ultimate takes it away. Great awareness, ready for ZywOo's push. And Liquid finally breaking through, stopping the streak of Vitality.
You said Ultimate is looking good on Train, where he shows up right when they need him, right at the end of the half. 1v3 4K for Ultimate. Apex couldn't buy another second. And perfect crosshair placement. ZywOo just walks into the guillotine.
He's going up above you, Nice!
Liquid.
And then we saw a slew of clutches, a lot of 1v2s from the likes of ZywOo and Rops. I think Twist even also had one. It was a series full of clutch moments, and unfortunately, Vitality had just a few more, and they kicked Liquid down. But I would say this is a pretty positive result. Not only, I think it was Team Liquid who beat Furia to actually make this this playoff or this top 8 at Bounty, and to go out in a way like this to Team Vitality, I think this could be it. Now, they could surprise me next week and do the exact opposite, but for now, I'm taking away positives.
Very, very tricky. And with Heaven Control lost, the best bet is to try and get past Rops. who currently sits on the bomb at 4 vitality. Every fight comes his way. Good for 2 of them, but can't wrestle Naf away for the 3rd.
Oh.
It's a late backstab for ZywOo. Still, he has the bomb on his back and has to get past Twists.
That's fading.
Molly's missed. Smoke fading. Twist time to strike is now. ZywOo dead. And Flames no one about on the charge in through the lobby. Liquid keep it flawless to open up.
So does Twist. 9-0. You said the eye test was good. It keeps going in Impact. My God, ZywOo realized that smoke was fading. He hangs around to take the fight. I don't even blame him for that, thinking he wouldn't cross into Hut in time. He'd rather go down on his terms. But Twist, well handled. Perfect Molotov. Round 1 by Liquid.
And look, man, during this low point, ZywOo goes and reclaims it. Flames caught out in the open, and so low health ZywOo is the one left in this clutch. Threads the needle on Shui. Nate for Naf just falls shy. And ZywOo's toying with him, playing with his food. Doesn't commit to the swing just yet. Will now. Here's the footsteps, and ZywOo is out of there. Gets the distance and a clean tap. ZywOo! That is gnarly.
Remarkable. No margin for error. And that repeak is
It's not even a fight he has to take.
No.
And he only fired 1 bullet. He just...
Yeah, okay. There's a team damage. And you think maybe that could cost ZywOo the round. He doesn't even get shot. 1v2 shuts it down with a beautiful bullet. And what do you do? Will he really stick it? I almost feel like Robs has to clear connector out. And Liquid remain active. This is how they won so many rounds on the CT side, always making another move, coming up to re-clear Con. And I feel like as soon as Robs goes for that plant, that's when Liquid are going to be right on his doorstep. How long does he hold? Robs getting inquisitive again. And he needs to clear this position out. A 1v1 afforded to him. They line up, and Robs takes them both. Timing works in his favor.
So have Team Liquid found their form. Blast Bounty does continue. Thank you all for watching as per usual. I won't waste any more of your time, okay? We're traveling in a couple of days. Actually, yeah, like 48 hours to go to good old Germany, all right? So I'll see you guys at Gamescom. If not, I'll see you back here from a hotel room for more CS news. Till next time, guys, please take care of yourselves. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.